Yeah, I'll tell you what, I guarantee it doesn't get the response I hope it's going to get. But the video we're releasing, the title of it, I'll spoil, is The Death of the Super Guilds. It's so interesting. The more research we've done on it, the more deep and dark the fucking tunnel has gone with researching this stuff. And it's been a journey that me and Chris have been sat here and Bex has been working on for ages, like pages and pages of notes and interviews and speaking to so many different people and everybody. What's really interesting is when a guild dies, doesn't matter what game it is, right? When a guild dies, everybody's reason for its dying is different. And sorting fact from fiction is really hard. Really, really hard. Like, what is fact? What is fiction? What is just a take, but it's the wrong take and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, it's so interesting. It really is. Like, for me, especially as like a self-proclaimed, I'll say it, but like a historian of these things, looking into like the details of what was happening because and how it went is really, really sort of like, oh, right, that's what I thought happened, but actually no. And then checking with the people who are named by other players of like, oh, well, it was this player was doing this player was doing that. And then we've spoke to those players and like, absolutely not. That's not what I was doing at all. I was doing this, but I could see how it came across like this to them because they had a bias against X and Y. I imagine this, like, if I look at even our guild, like Bald, Fat, and Ugly, what killed Bald, Fat, and Ugly? That's a really open-ended question. What killed that guild? What went from a guild that was the #1 3-day guild in the world, right? By miles, by like a long way, is what killed our guild. So you could say it was Stone Legion Generals. No, the problem started before then and were mounting. And a lot of it comes down to, I think, my general feeling on this, and I think there's a video on this, it's more of a, not philosophical, but more of it's an open-ending question that has no real answer. And in a lot of cases, it's the guild masters trying to lessen the burden on the rest of the team by knowing that X dislikes Y, Z dislikes B, D dislikes F, and these don't work well together, and this is a problem. And then we brought in this person, and this person caused this problem. And they're all trying to micromanage this stuff that all guild masters have had to go through. But the impression that's given from other people is like, this is going on here, this is a problem here. And even when I've spoke to Alex about it many times, many times. Alex and I mean, I was so thankful. This is kind of, you know, here or there, and whether you find this an entertaining discussion or not. But I had a really good reason to have a call with both Loz and Alex 2 days ago. And it was amazing because I messaged them both independently because they're rarely together. And the way it went down is Alex, I messaged Loz and I messaged Alex, and Alex called me immediately. He like didn't even type a response in Discord. He just called me because he was sat on a ferry going across the sea to the Isle of Wight. So he was sat on a ferry and he's like, oh, I'm sat on the ferry with my dog. And then while that was happening, his brother, Loz is his brother started typing back to me saying for a call. I was like, hang on a minute. I'm talking to your brother on a call. Let me add you to this call. And then it was all three of us back in a Discord call with Alex on a ferry, Loz at home playing Rust, and me here. And we just shot the shit for like half an hour, 40 minutes, just out of the blue. Alex kept cutting out because he was like some part of the sea that didn't work and, you know, had no signal, and then he's calling back. But I've spoke to them a million times, or I've spoke to Alex a million times about like what happened with the guild, and it's always slightly different. And it's like a death of 1,000 cuts. And we always say like we all know here, certainly in my community, it takes one person to kill a guild, right? It does. But what if that isn't the one person that's like the standout poison, right? You can call out the one person. That person is poison. They're causing problems. They're doing everything. That's the nature of a lot of drama times. It's the one person that's poison, and whatever reason, the leadership didn't deal with it, and that person like ruined everything. But what if it's not a one-person super poison? What if it's 20 mini poisons? what do you do then? How do you manage that? How does that work out? And it grows and grows, it grows. And then you can't deal with it all, because that would be a problem. Like, it's been really cool to see, even in the ones that are in the public eye, which we're discussing in this video, everybody has a different take on what happened and what destroyed these things. Yeah, death by 1,000 poisons. I find it very interesting. I imagine many of you have been through that in a guild where you probably lay the blame on somebody's feet. This should have been done. Everybody has rose-tinted goggles, right? Like, if we'd done this, if we'd done that, if we'd done this. And then if you talk to somebody else, especially, and I know it's controversial, someone on the other side of the opinion, they probably have entirely different takes and maybe even blame you or whatever, right? All this kind of stuff is very interesting, especially in the midst of when money gets involved, investors get involved, sponsors are now involved, and you're still managing people and things like that. Every guild I died in was I'm just going solo now. I love guilds. Like, if you find a guild that has a general collaborative goal, I don't know my take on it, but again, I've been doing this for what, 25 plus years or whatever, in one game or another. I'm fine with not getting on with everybody in my guild. I feel that's very normal, especially if your guild, certainly back in the day, was 50 plus people, or if it was in my older MMOs, 30 plus people. I don't see a guild as a place where you need to get along with everybody. As long as you're all working to the one collaborative goal, which is typically, if it's a raid guild, it's killing the bosses, right? If you're not besties with everybody, that's very, very normal. Yeah, you can't like everybody. It's impossible. You can't like everybody. You're doing a daily stuff about 5 eventually. Yeah, it's already filmed. It'll be coming out. There's always a delay between the live stream and the TDP, because I can't TDP it until after I've done it on the stream. Then it has to go to Bex to edit and things like that. And also, we can't, just on that note, because people keep asking, it's like, can the TDPs be faster? We can't zerg the channel with videos, because it's just a waste of our time, right? You can't just put up, like, fucking 10 videos a day that are 10 to 15 minutes in length. It's too much. People aren't going to watch it. It's a waste of our time and yours. So, yes, they are coming. They will be there. Statistically, in a group that large, there'll be people you dislike. Yes! Yes. Yeah, that's very normal. And it's only an issue if they create a problem to the overall goal. And I think that's where my mind is now. Is like, it's only an issue when it starts to affect what the only collaborative goal is of the whole team. That's where it becomes a problem. And I found it very interesting about what's said publicly. Because everybody has a guild. Most people have an end of guild message, right? Like, goodbye, we've stopped raiding, we've stepped down, whatever. And it's usually quite democratic, fair, thanks everybody for the times, we haven't got the time, the effort, blah 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 to put in. Nobody really says we're stepping down, and it's because my raiders turned into a bunch of whiny bastards, and this guy was fucking messaging. Have you ever seen a guild ending post where it's like, and Hell's Reaper was messaging me after every raid to tell me that Honor Scythe was fucking moaning about loot or was trying to gimmick things, and at the same time Alwiro and Linda Dean were both fucking up every goddamn mechanic every week, and here's the logs of them being absolute fucking clowns, right? Have you ever seen a guild ending post that's like that? No, but that's probably something that was going on. Right? That's probably something that was going on, is that kind of situation. Scorched Earth G quit. Like, I'm fucking tired of these people. I'm the guild master. I've put in like 17 hours a day to try and manage these arseholes, and this is what they're doing to me. This fucking guy, this Hooper, didn't show up for 4 raids, turns up, we invite him because he's a good player, and then he takes a BIS item, and then he logs out for another 3 weeks. Fuck that guy. Like, this is the kind of people I'm dealing with. I have never seen a guild post like that. Yeah, 100% that is the shit that was going on. 100%. So it's classic Hooper. Yeah. Guildmaster is a second job, and that's one of the things that did kill Bald, Fat, and Ugly. I would say of the active 25 people in Bald, Fat, and Ugly, when we stopped raiding, because we had less than when we started, 15 of them were former guild masters and raid leaders. Right? Because it was like the retirement home for World First Raiders. That's what Bald, Fat, and Ugly was. It was the retirement home for World First Raiders. We had people from Insidia, Nihilum, Fat Shark, fucking Nova, Method. We had members of Serenity, all these people, right? Apex. We had all these world first raiders in the guild. And Alex and Loz are like, we're not going to lead this guild anymore. Does anybody want to do it? Fuck no. Because leading a guild fucking sucks. Leading a guild absolutely fucking sucks. And no, I'm not going to do it. And they're like, we know. We know none of you are going to do it. And it's like, to be fair, most of us have done it at some point in the past, and it's awful. I've been the guild master for Nupps, and he will remember I hated it. I hated it so much. I've been a guild master and raid leader 4 different times, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I hate it so much. Guild master, in my eyes, does not translate to your dad, your fucking mother, your therapist. That's not what I'm here for, dude. Show up for the raid and be prepared. Motherfucker. Like, that's all I ask of you. That's the limit of my involvement in your life. For real. Like, Jesus Christ. 5th time's a charm? No. Who doesn't love an extra job during your chill time? Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine. I don't know how much time Loz and Alex spent on making our strat sheets, but they were... I mean, do I hit spreadsheets and info? Are they still live? Yeah, they are. I mean, I can show this now. Look at the work Alex put into this. Look at it. This is from our PTR testing. Literally from our PTR testing. The logs. This is every boss during PTR testing in Castle Natria. Alex did this. This is before we even start raiding. It's like, this is all the information. This is everything we need. Too much reading. It was great. It was like all the mechanics. And then questions to be asked during... Oh, yeah, this is pre-test notes. This is before we've done the PTR testing. Can we cheese these with immunities? How far away can we actually place portals? Is there any limits? He would leave... stack removal ideas. This was all the questions that he would put to us to test, but before we started testing. Yeah, like Alex put so much work. PTR testing sheet for Nihilotha. I'm not sure what this one is. I don't want to reveal anything too weird. Hold on. Oh, this is like the boss testing schedule of when we'll be doing what with the days and the tights and all this. Yeah. When we're going to test each boss. The sheet houses information for each boss in the Nihilo 38.3 raid. Make sure to read each sheet, grab the weak auras. Everything will be needed in here. Little pictures. Bugman. 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 What a nerd. Hey, everybody came in and we killed pretty much every single boss within a couple of pulls. Like... skill-wise, easily the best guild I was ever in. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I love this, me. Yeah, as a raiding nerd, this is everything. I'm showing the pre-test notes because our actual method. This is not to annoy Sko, but no, Bald, Fat, and Ugly were considerably better than Method both times I was in Method. Method had the advantage of time over Bald, Fat, and Ugly. Method did not have the skill level of Bald, Fat, and Ugly. Like, at all. Method had the advantage of daytime raiding and that to overcome some issues. I will point out this is Miss of Pandaria Method, who did go on to get world second, I think, at the time. Something like that. But no. Besides some standout players, your Cousin Ams, your Roger Browns, your Just Waits... those kinds of people. You Spark Hugs. Method had some extraordinarily great players, but they were carrying some baggage. Let's be honest, they were carrying some baggage. They were carrying quite a bit of baggage back in the day. Especially when I first joined in Wrath of the Lich King. Yikes. 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 I was definitely like, oh, okay. I was expecting something different. Nope, I was never carried. Yeah, a bit yikes. To be fair, that roster doesn't exist anymore. I have baggage. Yeah. If Bald Fag and Ugly day rated 7 days a week, do you think they would have been top 10? Oh, yeah. Yeah. No doubt in my mind. I actually suspect we would have been the highest ranked guild in the world without any sponsors and sat there. The dream, one of the dreams of Bald, Fat and Ugly that we talked about a lot is that we should make an MDI team. Because we had top MDI players in the guild. But we should all be sat like the Mitchell and Webb darts team. I was like, just imagine the stage where you've got Gingy, Zalia, and Fragnance, and Robin, and Mirez, you know, all in like the shiny fucking gamer shirts, and sponsors on the shoulders and all that. And then it comes over to us, and we're in brown cardigans with pints of bitter, and maybe it's like a cigarette and an ashtray, and like really let the chins grow out and the stubble and all that, and just be like on the other side of the BlizzCon stage, just like, that's a bad pull, you know, just absolute dog shit. Like, just like the most fucking OTT, like old cricket players side. Yeah, a bunch of murder hobos. Like, I thought it was just like the image of it would have been hilarious, absolutely hilarious. But yeah, I believe we could have been top 10. I truly believe that. Yeah. The only times that guild really stumbled was Jaina. We did badly on Jaina, but other than that, we did pretty well. Like Eternal. Whatever that raid was called. The fucking Jaina raid, whatever the fuck it was. That was the only raid where we... Probably starting the beginnings and the end around there. Yeah, Dazarolor. No, it wasn't kind of. I remember I couldn't take... I did not help. And I still to this day feel guilty about that. It was the first time I was casting a Race to World first with this prick called Tettles, who turned out to be just absolutely useless. But... it meant that I couldn't raid, which was just a bad scenario. It sucked. Alex understood, but he was like, "Okay, well, I have to bench you for like you're just not going to do the learning. I can't have someone come in and do the learning and then you replace them as soon as you get back." So I got to. I was bitching at Tels because I saw he was in the chat a minute ago. Fetid Devourer. Oh, God. I can tell this story now. Nupps brings up Fetid Devourer. This is infamously the moment when Alex smashed his door in his house. I can tell you we were... I'm going to have to go off memory here, but maybe 100 and something pulls into Fetid Devourer, which was... If anybody remembers history here, the fight was busted and broken as fuck, right? Thank you so much for the Prime and Actra. And for some reason, it just wasn't working, despite the fact that a lot of us were putting in masses of effort. I remember Nupps was playing Warrior and was really like... I remember Nupps raging at one point because they wouldn't position it so he could cleave the eggs. He was like single-tying the eggs, and he's like, this is fucking bullshit, I should be cleaving it. Either way... We were min-maxing, some of us were min-maxing every little element to destroy the eggs on Fetid. I was playing Arcane, I was like positioning so I would always hit this niche little gap in the wall, so I could like rune even during the knockback to keep the uptime going. Blah, blah, blah. 100 plus pulls in, we noticed that something's just not right and this shouldn't be happening. And it's like, do we need more gear? Do we need... You know, Alex is trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. And then somebody noticed that one of the players for 100 pulls was attacking the wrong eggs. And it wasn't showing on logs because the logs for Fetid were showing, like, all the eggs simultaneously. And it was a player that noticed that this fucking hunter was attacking the wrong eggs. And I remember, I think it was Vati? I want to say it was Vati. Vati went, "What the fuck are you doing?" To X. I'm not going to say his name. And he goes, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Why are you attacking?" It was a hunter, right? So typically the hunters were in the middle so they could, you know, swap around a bit easier. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, what? He's like, why are you up there? And he's like, well, and then it turns out he wasn't like confused his side. Like, I should be south or north. He just decided to land wherever he landed after the knockback and just attack whatever egg was nearby. Instead of, like, positioning the knockback. Going to where you're supposed to be. Things like that. And was just randomly DPSing shit. And I think Vati quit the next week. It was like, I'm not dealing with people like this. This is absolutely not happening. I'm not doing that. I'm not dealing with this shit. He was like, I'm fucking done. I'm fucking done. We've been here for 100 pulls. We can kill it and move on. And you fucking get out, gone. Yeah, Vati was done. He was like, I can't fucking deal with this. This is not the level we're playing at. I forgot the small knockback. Yeah. Not as hunterish as it gets. Yeah, it's like just tab and DPS, and we'll get through it somehow. Oh, Turtle, thank you for the 10 subs. Welcome, new subs. Welcome, guys. A lot of 1 monthers in there. Wonderful. As I say, have fun on holiday. Yes. I'm tired of beating. I am very tired. Oh, there's a wide walking Chris coming in. Oh, Blood and Storm Trios is in. Oh, maybe. I'm not going to have time. I did promise FF5 today. Yes. Yeah, maybe get a team going for trios. Maybe the last half hour of the day or something like that. We'll have a little mess around in trios and see how that goes.